Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So there's been a whole lot going on over at Twitter these past few weeks. The Reddit spaceman has been cranking out some major new policies that'll greatly change how Twitter functions in the coming months. And on theme with everything else Elon has done since he took over Twitter, among these changes are some really bold and good ideas, as well as some completely terrible ones that users universally hate. The two policies we're going to focus on for the purposes of this video were announced over the past few days. The first policy and the main focus of the video involves Twitter's introduction of an ad revenue sharing program for its Twitter Blue subscribers that'll allow users to make money from posts and videos they share on Twitter. An idea that challenges other platforms like TikTok and YouTube, but for reasons I'll get into later, the whole scheme works to the benefit of very few content creators and is nothing more than a quick cash grab showing how desperate Twitter is getting for revenue. The second policy will require accounts that use API to pay monthly fees as high as $100 per month to continue existing, a change that is killing countless gimmick accounts that use automated post functions, as well as suspending accounts that use popular services like Marshmallow that allow followers to ask Twitter users questions anonymously. So as you can see, there's a lot of ground to cover here, so without further ado, let's jump into these developments. So yesterday, Elon dropped this big set of news saying, starting now, Twitter will share ad revenue with creators for ads that appear in their reply threads. To be eligible, and this is the very important caveat, the account must be a subscriber to Twitter Blue Verified. So ever since Elon took over Twitter, he has made it very clear that he has wanted to introduce an ad revenue sharing program in order to make Twitter competitive with other social media and video sharing platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Because truth be told, the only revenue sharing service that had previously existed on Twitter was the super follower function, which is easily the biggest flop Twitter has ever had. Virtually nobody uses this function. Besides the minimal benefits it provides, it serves as a sort of internet dunce cap that gets you laughed at by anyone who notices your embarrassing simp marking. But in all seriousness, the concept of an ad revenue sharing system on Twitter is a pretty radical idea that many people never thought would see the light of day. Now, how does this all work? Well, it's just as annoying as you thought it would be. By using this feature, ads will be placed in the replies of your tweets, which is something new and very, very annoying. So don't get me wrong, the concept of an ad revenue sharing feature on Twitter is a good idea that many content creators could benefit from, and it's no coincidence it came out only days after YouTube enabled monetization for their YouTube Shorts. But this system is nothing more than a desperate attempt at a cash grab, and I'll tell you why. So the most important caveat to all of this, you already know, is the very largely printed fine print, is that in order to use this ad revenue sharing function, you have to be a Twitter Blue subscriber, which of course comes with a monthly fee comparable to the major streaming services, where you can now get basic features like an edit button for your tweets, and once again, another mark by your name so people can bully you. But that fee that they also plan on raising to $15 per month is a very important number to keep in mind for their new ad revenue sharing program. Because in order for the Twitter Blue subscription process and ad revenue sharing function to be profitable, you have to earn enough ad revenue per month to cover that cost of being a Twitter Blue subscriber. Now, speaking from experience, ad revenue sharing programs are pretty tight, and when it comes to basic ads like those that'll be displayed in the replies to users' tweets, the margins for profit are really, really low. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that the vast majority of accounts will not receive enough ad revenue per month to cover the cost of their Twitter Blue subscription that is required for them to use this ad revenue sharing feature in the first place. I mean, are you surprised? Twitter is a private company that operates for a profit, and its CEO just spent $44 billion that he needs to get back. It's not a charity, and they want to sell this dream that you can make a bunch of money making shit posts on Twitter. Because the only accounts that'll be able to profit from this scheme will be larger accounts that get a great deal of interaction before all this was a thing. Besides the fact I don't tweet enough, I'm not even sure if my account with close to 60,000 followers that gets hundreds of thousands of impressions on the average tweet will make anything meaningful from this system. I might actually toss my self-respect to the side and try it out for a month, unironically for science, because I want to know how much of an impact this system can have on content creators and if it's actually a threat to other platforms like YouTube. Also, think about what this means for the regular Twitter experience. This system will encourage some of the most toxic behavior imaginable. It will financially incentivize outrage bait, bad takes, and alike to lure people into their replies to trigger an ad revenue share. All of this done with fractions of a penny at a time until eventually some profit is made. Let me just say this. If you think clout chasing on Twitter is bad now, it's going to get much worse with this system. People were annoying when the only reward was attention. Now they can get that and money. But at the end of the day, that's just going to give us more content, even more bad takes to look at. So there's that, of course. And I don't blame anyone for using this feature, by the way, not at all. But I think a lot of people are going to be tricked into thinking they can profit from this system. Placing ads in the replies of tweets while also pushing a dream of being a professional tweeter to book millions of monthly Twitter Blue subs shows how desperate Elon is getting to try to get back some sort of revenue system on Twitter. And speaking of other bad changes, there is one lesser but also very important change taking place, and it has to do with this next tweet. So in this thread, it states that starting February 9th, we will no longer support free access to the Twitter API, both version 2 and version 1.1. A basic paid tier will be available instead. So for clarity's sake, Twitter's API or application programming interface allows software developers to directly engage with and use Twitter's data for a whole host of things, from research to quality of life stuff to auto-generated tweets and much more. API is very important to many different gimmick accounts that are popular on Twitter, and they use that to make certain features and scheduled posts and interactions and stuff like that. Basically, these accounts will be required to pay $100 per month to continue using API. $100 per month for some accounts out there to post things like daily anime girls. Like, yeah, they're shutting down their pages, guys. Worse yet, many people are concerned that the main people willing to pay for this API system will be scammers who are already exploiting these systems for a profit. And like I said, this has already ruined other applications like Marshmallow, which is a popular service used by many content creators that allows users to ask them questions anonymously. The main account for this service has already been suspended, and the users of this feature are also reporting that their individual accounts are being suspended for using it as well. Now, I'm going to wrap up the video here. These are two very big changes. Obviously, I think the ad revenue sharing program is the bigger of the two, but you can't also deny that the regular user experience is going to get much worse with this new change to the API. But these are some very interesting changes. I am very, very interested in where this whole ad revenue sharing program goes. In my initial reaction, I do not think this is going to be a major threat to Twitter or TikTok, but it's something to look at. And it may come from a place of desperation to generate revenue for their system, but I wonder how many content creators can truly benefit from this ad revenue sharing program. But that's going to do it for this video. Please let me know your thoughts about all of this stuff in the comments section down below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.